Do you struggle with pushing your lead to impact the game? Not sure how to close a game when you or your team is ahead? Or do you feel like you're not sure how to build a lead? Struggle with winning games? Or just feel useless in your games? In today's guide, we are coaching a Bronze 3 Azir and we will be going over how to abuse your power spikes, 2 ways to abuse your enemy laner, the mid and jungle relationship playstyle, how to easily dodge skill shots in lane, how to TP properly, and how to actually impact the map as a carry and not just coin flipping your games. If you are new here, my name is Little Boy of Hope. I was able to reach Diamond 4 in the preseason of 10, have been coaching League part-time for a couple of years, and I create beginner-friendly League of Legends content here on YouTube. Subscribe right now and turn on the notifications if you're looking for more beginner League of Legends content to help you get to your next level. So the very first thing we see that's going on here is he's pushing for the level 2 power spike, which is good. We want the level 2 power spike. We also want to be harassing Sylas at this point. Notice how we let Sylas go for the free farm here. This is where we want to harass the Sylas. So number one thing is don't let the Sylas get free farm because you are ranged champion. You do out damage him with poke. We are pushing for the level 2 power spike here, which is really good. Also Sylas eat here. We stay behind the minions and we look to farm. We look to harass Sylas here. So Sylas dashes forward. He still has his chain at this point. We want to deal damage to him as much as possible. If he decides to fight us in our minion wave, we just fight him back and we walk back into our second wave, chunk him that way. He's only level 1. You're only level 1. You don't have to be afraid of him here. Just like this, you see how we're getting free damage on Sylas. This is exactly what I want you to do, but I want you to do it earlier. We had 2 or 3 chances to really bully the Sylas and we haven't done that yet. Once we hit our level 2 power spike, this is when we want to start aggressing onto the Sylas. Again, Sylas uses his E and we don't do anything about it. Sylas uses E again, now he's level 2, but he only has 1 ability still. We should still be harassing him at this point. His E is on a 12-second cooldown, and he can't really do anything other than QU at level 2. This is because this is Bronze 3 as well. It takes longer for him to level up his ability than he should. He probably doesn't do control Q. He probably had to walk back and then click level up with his mouse. And so harassing here would be a great opportunity. You do that, but a little bit too late. Could have jumped on that a lot sooner while he was still level 1. Notice Sylas Q is on cooldown. This is also another good chance to harass Sylas, as Q is Sylas' main damage ability. Very good harass right here. Sylas coming in looking for the E. Instead of running straight and getting hit by Sylas' ability, what we can do is actually instead of us being here and walking this way to try and dodge the ability, because he already gap closed on us, if instead we were here earlier where we were at the canyon minion, we walk behind the canyon minion, we dodge E and we continue to harass him with our autos. I know your your Q is on cooldown, your W is up though, so you do have some damage here. Also, whenever they fight you in your turret range or in your minion range, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minions that will turn back onto Sylas. So as Sylas fights you, you kite back into the wave and you just out damage Sylas this way. So very important, just stay behind the minions. Notice again here, we have an HP advantage, but we're not looking to punish the Sylas at all, so make sure we're doing that. This is how we're going to be able to extend your lead and get a strong lead and make it a huge impact on the game. Otherwise, we're just going to have a mediocre impact. Notice here how you walk behind the Sylas E. That's what you want to do every time, and you want to know how to play against your opponent and read their abilities before you get into lane so that you don't get hit by it and then learn how to counter it. So you always want to know how to counter it right off the bat. Treat your jungler like the ADC and be the support to your ADC. Because you're bullying the Sylas out really well here, let's just say if you would have done better, you could have killed him. But anyways, you can bully him out or you can push this wave under. Because you see the Mumu doing his clear and then heading into the river, you always want to be there for your jungler. Notice how you're also more so on the bot side over here, playing towards the bot side, than the top side. So with your jungler, whatever side your jungler is on, you want to play on the same side as they are on, so that way you can roam into the way that they want to go, and that way it just makes it so you get to your mid laner or your jungler faster, and that way you can win, get free kills and skirmishes and that sort of stuff. So you were here, the Mumu goes in and we're just not there to help him. So now the wave is pushed in, we go help a Mumu now. It's good that you're heading over there though, but just a little bit slow. Mumu gets the kill there. And then you poke out the Nasus and you guys get the kill here, which is great. And Sylas burns ultimate. Very good. So here again we have the HP advantage, but we're not harassing the Sylas enough. If you don't know where the jungler is, this is how you find out where the jungler is. Just ask yourself, where can the jungler gank? Can Viego gank top right now? Yes, because Nasus can wither Volibear. Very, very strong gank path from here as Viego to just over here. Can the Viego gank you? And yes, Viego could gank from either here or here. Both gank options are very, very viable. Can Viego gank bot lane? Yeah, it's possible if they dive the brand because Miss Fortune's not there. But Viego's level 3, so more than likely they're not going to try to dive, especially with Leona being half HP. So this is how you know where the jungler is and how you should play. And there we go, we see the Viego coming in. The only thing I'll say is flash before you get hit. Okay, so you ward right here, but the Viego went topside, so then you would be warding for Leona, which is fine, but you're backing anyways. So placing a ward here doesn't really help at all. Notice how low HP you are, but how easy the Sylas is for you. Also notice here, you're level 6 and Sylas is level 5, you're still not taking advantage of it. The reason why we can take full advantage of it is because there's 2 top here versus Volibear. And then the only people that would respond to you is Jhin and Leona. But you can take that chance. If it was up to me, I would definitely take that chance. And Power Spike versus the Sylas. Right here, we're bullying the Sylas here, which is really good. And then we hit level 6. As soon as we hit level 6 here, we don't back off. We walk forward and we look to E. I guess your Q's on cooldown, but we walk forward and we look for the Q, and then as soon as our Q comes off cooldown, we EQ onto him, or we WEQ onto him and then ult him back. And then also another thing is, looks like you're not putting point into R right away. I'm not sure if you're left clicking or not, but you can do Control plus R to level up quicker, and that's helpful for these level 6 Power Spike plays. So originally a range matchup into a melee matchup should be really hard for the melee player like the Sylas. Sylas should be getting chunked out really, really hard, so just keep that in mind. But instead of doing that, we're just constantly shoving him under turret. Because we're doing this, we're not getting any value off of this laning phase. We're not getting like any kills, we're only getting gold, and we're not able to snowball ahead. So remember, in a range versus melee matchup, you have to make them suffer, make them pay for every CS that they come for, just because you have that advantage. If you don't press that advantage, then once Sylas gets his power spike, Sylas can just kind of one-shot us. Also, one thing I notice here is you are at 51 CS and Sylas is at 26 CS. Sylas right now has 1913 gold and you have 2435 gold. And so with that gold advantage, you should be able to dish out more damage to him in the laning phase as well and harass him even harder. Depending on who has more gold in the lane, who has more items in the lane, that person is the stronger one. Range always beats melee, so make sure you look to bully in these laning phases. And if Sylas engages onto you, just walk behind your minions and fight him. You also have your ultimate to outplay him as well, and he can also steal your ultimate to outplay as well. So just keep in mind his kit and how to play around it. Main thing is don't get hit by Sylas E and you should be good. Also, whenever Sylas Q is on cooldown like this, we look to trade. Always look to trade and harass, and we don't do that at all. And then also we always ask ourselves before we get aggressive is, where's the enemy jungler? Can the enemy jungler gank top? Yes. Can the enemy jungler gank me if I go to aggro? Yes, because I don't have flash. I do have my R though, so it's only a Viego. I could just R both of them off of me. So I could make a little bit more aggressive play if I want to. Can the enemy jungle gank bot side? It's possible again, like if they come back from the behind, but we get that area warded. And also, like it's misfortune. Our bot laner just died. Our brand just died. So more than likely he's not going to gank bot. The best scenario for for Viego right now though is volley top and you mid. So always keep in mind before you get really aggressive into these range versus melee matchup, because you're going to bully a lot, and so that's the only thing you have to be careful for. But Viego dies topside anyways, and so now we know 100% that Sylas Q is on cooldown and we should be looking to harass Sylas. And yeah, just like that, we walk behind the minion again, which is really good. And then we outtrade the Sylas. Notice how much damage we do to the Sylas. Sylas half HP. We didn't lose any HP at all. That's because we have so much gold over him. And we also range versus melee, so it makes it harder for him. Right here, we see the Leona and the Jhin coming up. So this is when we would play a little bit more passive. But notice how much damage you do, right? And because this is bronze 3, they didn't gank, which definitely should have. But notice how strong you are versus the Sylas here. And you don't just beat Sylas from 100 HP either, so I want you to notice you didn't just beat Sylas because he was stupid and ran into you. The reason why you beat Sylas was because you already out-traded him earlier, right? So you chunked him to like 25% HP, and then he chucked some potions back to HP, right? But still not enough when he tries to all-in you. And then by the time he all-ins you right here, he's already 0 HP, steals your ultimate, still tries to engage you, and then just gets ultimate and dies, and walks into your sand soldiers. Notice like your first TP into the lane was fine. Your second TP, you always want to save it for certain situations to help out your team. And look for good TP plays. So like a play right here, right now, instead of TPing mid, is because you know that Sylas backed at the same time as you did anyways. Sylas took Ignite, not TP, so Sylas can't TP back to lane, right? But you see 1-2 top lane here, what you guys should do is TP here instead. Or like bottom in. Bottom doesn't have a TP choice, but right here it's a perfect chance to turn around. But we don't do that, and Volibear has to 1v2, and Volibear beats that 1v2 anyways. Nasus barely dies here, but if you were there, that was a free double for you. Right, if you just TP'd at the beginning of this fight, like right here, at the beginning of this fight, if we just TP here, or not here, but see how, notice how we're TPing to the lane? Here we just walk to lane because we try to get there. We also see Sylas is looking to back as well. And then as we see this fight going on, we could look to TP here or TP here into this red ward. It's not necessary at this point yet because Volibear is winning, right? So we would still be walking into lane, and then when we see the Viego, what we do is we wait for the Viego to engage. As soon as the Viego engages, this is the moment we TP, right? So it would be a 3 versus 2 instead of a 1 versus 2, and you guys get a free double kill. And then you could TP here or you could TP here. If it was me though, I would probably TP here. Or actually, I think I would TP here because TPing here, you could just cut them off. So if it was me, I would TP here because then you could cut them off. So notice how Viego flashes that way. If you TP here, you cut him off there, you just kill him, and you also kill Volibear. Or not Volibear, you kill Nasus. Nasus dies anyways though because of a Mumu. But see how you wasted your TP? Could have gotten much more value off of it. Right here, you can play very aggressive for one reason, is that Nasus and Viego just died. Also, we let this guy pick up the full wave here. You never do that. When you have the power, when you're stronger than an enemy, you always look to oppose over them, and that's how you start to create an impact on the game. Put your laner behind, and you know, get the enemies to say mid gap or jungle gap. Because right now, you just let him farm for free, right? And he loses a little bit of HP, but he could have lost a lot more. But we're playing decently aggressive, but just not at the right moments. Like right here, right? You always ask yourself, where can, like, you aggress onto the, okay, let's go back. So you aggress onto the Sylas here, right? So we ask ourselves this question, where is the enemy jungler? Can the enemy jungler gank me? Yes, definitely. I'm out of position. I would have to burn flash or QE out of here or EQ out of here, right? So yes, we can get ganked. So there's a high chance that the jungler is here. Where is the can the enemy jungler gank top lane? No, because Volibear is not here. Can the enemy jungler gank bot lane? They can, but Leona Miss Fortune's dead, so they don't really have to. Leona Jhin could just dive Brand. Like I said, it's possible, but it's just not likely. And so the most likely place where the jungler is going to be is mid lane, right? So that's how you know where the jungler is, and that's how you know when you can play more aggressive. Notice here how well you and your jungler work together, right? Amumu sticks on and CCs the Sylas, and then you guys just pop him. Very good job working with your jungler, getting the Rift Herald, and then also making a pick on the Sylas there. That was really well played. Okay, so one thing here, Sylas is dead, and Amumu's heading into the enemy jungle. Right here, instead of pushing here, we could be helping out the Amumu here. Because one, Amumu's strong, Amumu has flash, and Amumu has ultimate. But what happens here, we just kind of watch them, we just kind of let the Amumu die and get run down. Look how much damage Amumu did to these guys by himself. By himself, as he's oh, I guess not. I thought Amumu was pinging me for help, but Sylas was pinging for help. But look how much damage Amumu does by himself, right? Like, if you act as a support to Amumu, and Amumu is your carry, or if Amumu is your support and you're Amumu's carry, anyway, vice versa works. Amumu sets you up for a perfect double kill here, maybe triple kill, if the Viego comes, or what the hell, Volibear? I guess it's a Viego, so Viego can turn Volibear, but if Viego comes, it's a free triple kill. So we asked ourselves, here's my average rank game playing Azir in Bronze 3. I really like Azir, but I feel like I don't have enough of an impact on the match. Even if I get a decent CS per minute and don't die a lot, we won this game, but we could have lost because of how strong Nasus was, right? So the number one thing is we're not making an impact on the match, on the map, because we're not trying to make an impact, right? So right here, up here, we can TP and help this guy out. Right here, we push the wave. Sylas is dead. We can push the turret. Yes, that's fine. But Amumu is going to their jungle, so instead of pushing here, you want to push at this angle and stand here, and if Amumu needs your help, immediately walk towards Amumu. And if these guys keep chasing Amumu here, Amumu can always flash away to get closer to you, and then when they get closer to, if they keep chasing you, Amumu can Q back into them and R them, and then that's when you can EQ onto them, auto, and then or R them off the Amumu, depending on what combo you want to use with Azir. Right, and that's how you make an impact on the game, is by actually trying to make an impact on the game and actually looking on your map. And also, like, the reason why I say that is because look at Amumu right now. Amumu has been making solid plays all game. He's 5 kills in, he's got his items in, and he's really strong. Amumu and Volibear are both carrying this game really hard right now. Volibear already won top lane, and Amumu has a lot of CC, and CC with Azir is just amazing because you get to dish out so much damage to your enemies. When Amumu autos or uses his ultimate, Curse of the Sad Mummy, it marks the enemies with a certain mark, and your Azir actually does bonus magic damage because of that. Cursed targets receive 10% bonus true damage from all incoming pre-mitigation magic damage. So that's huge right there by itself. Azir and Mumu wombo combo, quite insane because the curse mark, and then you also have your ultimate, so that's just so big. Here's the thing, notice how we're constantly pushing this wave in, and we're not getting much out of pushing this wave in. So we're pushing the wave in, and now we just give this guy free farm, right? So like pushing the wave is totally fine here, but what I want you to do is, instead of just like pushing and backing, you can also harass him here. Right, and you chunk him out, and even if the Viego comes back, because Viego went towards bot side, you just 1v2 anyways, because you're 3 levels ahead on Viego and 2 levels ahead on Sylas, right? Sylas just hit level 10, and also the Viego is down here by now if we're looking, and so like something I always say is before you go in for a trade, look on the map. Before you go in for a CS, look on the map. Where's the jungler? Where's the support? Where's the top laner? Are you going to get ganked, right? And then, is it safe for me to go in? And that's how you decide in these range versus melee matchup. And this is how you play really safe, and this is how you really push your advantage. It's because you know exactly that no matter how hard you harass this guy, nobody's coming to save him. Look how we just keep pushing in, right? And this is totally fine to keep pushing in, but we have to take advantage of it by harassing him when he comes to CS here. Sylas is at 50 CS when he could technically be around like 20 to 30 CS, right? So he's just getting a whole bunch of free farm here, which he misses anyways. So we just took this turret, Sylas just backed, right? And we want to make an impact on the map, right? So there's a few things we can do here. You see there's 1, 2, 3 players on the bot side. We can roam bot and make a play there. We don't have our ultimate, but we can roam bot anyways and make a play there. Or if we see top side, Volibear has a Rift turret as well. We can walk forward and help Volibear poke out the Nasus under turret as well. Depending on what you want to do, most likely I will go bot side and help them out. Otherwise, this is good prepping for your escape. And just keep pressing here until your minions run out. And then you go into the minions automatically here. And we see these guys are already down here. These guys are doing work right here, and Volibear is doing work right here. Our team is playing map pressure top and mid. What are we doing here? We're farming, which is a decent play, but we're not really making any progress on the map when our team is, right? So, an example, this looks okay, like totally okay, right? But think about it this way. It's like your whole team is pushing down mid and you're back here farming this camp, or you're back here waiting for red buff to spawn. That's basically what you're doing at this point. Is your team is pressuring top side and bot side, and what are you doing? You're not doing anything. CS isn't everything that matters in this game. Like, this game is your Amumu and your Volibear is snowballing really hard, so we want to play with them. And they have a lot of CC. So as a Azir, you want to play with champions that set you up really, really well. And Amumu is one of those champions. So here we actually wouldn't TP, but I wouldn't TP here anyway. So you TP'd here to clear the wave. It's not very necessary. You could just walk back up. And I wouldn't TP to this fight. One, because it's their whole team is chasing these guys. Two, because Amumu ultimate is down. But what you could possibly do if you wanted to, because you do play Azir, is you could TP here or here, and then just back ping them as you're TPing, and then when everyone gets here, you can just ult everyone away to peel for your team, like Amumu's trying to peel for an MF here, and then you guys just run away as a team and help your team survive that way. Right, but now your team just dies. Look at how strong this Amumu is. Amumu is 7-4, and we're not taking advantage of his CCs, his ultimate, or anything like that. Look how strong you are versus the Nasus. You chunk the Nasus to half HP like nothing. Because Nasus has no MR. He's very tanky armor-wise, but... Then we missed our ultimate again here. Okay, just a mechanical error. I don't know why that didn't hit. But look how... Notice how strong you are versus this Nasus. You're so strong versus Nasus because Nasus has only built armor at this point. He has no magic resist. After we kill Nasus here, what we want to do is look for objectives, and then we want to probably secure Dragon because Dragon is up, and Volibear is strong too, so we can secure Dragon even without our jungler. We also see Viego here, so that's more of a sign to take Dragon. So one thing to learn from this play is to one, don't face check the bush, right? And even you did face check the bush, where do you think their team is, right? If you don't know where their team is, you just always assume that their team is right behind them. Right? One thing too is, where is your team while you're here, right? Your team is over here. Your team is miles away from you. So what are you doing here? Trying to kill the Leona because she's low HP? Right. But now where's her team? Her team's on you. Her team is on you already. Now you just get chunked out because of that. Right? So one thing is, don't face check bushes mid-late game. Another thing is, you're a backline unit, so play like a backline unit. Let your Amumu face tank, face check. Let your Volibear face check. And if your team doesn't go there, just don't go there in general. I know maybe you were trying to make a pick on Leona or something like that, but like I said, think, where's the enemy team? Where's the enemy team? If you don't know where they are, then they're probably right there behind them. So you guys don't lose this fight because of how strong Nasus is. I want you to understand that. Alright? You guys don't lose this fight because of how strong Nasus is. You guys lose this fight because Azir died. 1v5. Right? So you said... Because I want to point out, because you said that you might have lost the game because of how strong Nasus was. Well, it's not because Nasus was strong, it's because you died 1 versus 5. Whereas your wombo combo with a Mumu wombo combo and Volibear wombo combo is like huge. And Brand and Miss Fortune, you guys have like the perfect team comp for wombo combo. Right here, after we get the mid inhib, we can actually go up with a Mumu, but that's not a good choice because their whole team is spawning and it's going to be 2 versus 4. So you go bot side and you escape and you go farm instead. Now Mumu's here one versus 5, which is not very good for Mumu. He flashes out, but he gets caught by the Jhin W. What are we doing at this point? We're not doing anything while Mumu's getting caught. Right, so one thing is Dragon spawning, we can head there, or we can try to push here while they try to chase Volibear. And what are we doing at this point is we're not doing anything. So while Volibear is getting chased here, we see... So while Volibear is getting chased here, we see 1-2 here. We also have minions here, so we see 1-2 here. And Viego just spawned. We can see that because Viego just spawned, and there's one there. So we know exactly where everyone is. Dragon's up. What are we doing here? Right, we're not pressuring bot. MS pressuring bot with Baron buff, and then we should be at Dragon because we're Azir. We can just solo Dragon. Instead, what happens here? We had to escape. Because we do that, we also lose Dragon. So we didn't do anything. We got mid inhib. Our jungler died top side and we didn't get dragon. It was a free dragon with, or a free bot inhib turret, and we didn't get any, and so they get the dragon. So just kind of notice these little things are that instead of just going back and constantly farming whenever you want and denying them, which is decent, it's a decent play, but it's just not optimal, right? Go for the big objectives first, and if those are down, then you can counter. Azir and his team did go on to victory this game, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my most practical settings and hotkeys for League of Legends in Season 11 right here.